I told you it was a double power grab with a twist. I want to point to you the words of President Joe Biden. If you're not inclined to believe a Republican, maybe you'll believe Joe Biden. Here's what Joe Biden said in 2019. This is not 1964. This is not 1954. 2019, a couple of years ago. Quote, ending the filibuster is a very dangerous move. If you're at home and you don't believe Republicans, do you believe Joe Biden? Was he lying when he said ending the filibuster is a very dangerous move, or was he telling the truth? Because that's what Joe Biden said just a couple of years ago. Now maybe you say, well, he was in a campaign, people say things. You can't hold him to fault for saying that. That's not fair. Okay? All right, so now you don't believe me and you don't believe Joe Biden. But let's see if we can find someone else. How about someone who serves in this chamber right now? How about someone who is the Senate Majority Leader right now? How about Senator Chuck Schumer? If you haven't actually watched this speech, I'd encourage you, go pull out your phone and Google it. You can find it real easily. Senator Chuck Schumer in 2015 gave a speech. I'm going to read to you verbatim what he said. He said, they want, because they can't get their way, to change the rules midstream. All right, what would be the effect of that? You change the rules midstream, you nuke the filibuster. What would be the effect of that? According to Chuck Schumer, the effect of that, to wash away 200 years of history. That's what Schumer says is the effect. Washing away 200 years of history, that sounds serious. Anything else? They want to make this country into a banana republic, where if you don't get your way, you change the rules. Wash away 200 years of history, make this country a banana republic. That's pretty serious stuff. That ought to concern us. But at least that's the worst it gets, right? Well, actually, no. Schumer continued. It'll be doomsday for democracy if we do. Madam President, there are reporters teeming the United States Capitol. Any reporter who wants to be something other than a partisan shill and mouthpiece for the Democrats ought to ask every single Democrat, Senator so-and-so, do you agree with Chuck Schumer that ending the filibuster will turn our nation into a banana republic? Do you agree, Senator so-and-so, that ending the filibuster would be doomsday for democracy? And by the way, if there are any reporters left who actually have journalistic ethics, you shouldn't just ask Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Right now, they're the lone Democrats with the gumption to stand up for democracy. But you ought to ask all 50 of them, every single one of the Democrats. Do you agree with Chuck Schumer ending the filibuster is doomsday for democracy? And if not, why? Is it just that your team is the one that can't get their way? Now it's your side that wants to change the rules midstream. Now it's your side that if you don't get your way, you change the rules. Was Joe Biden lying in 2019? Was Senator Schumer lying in 2005? I don't know, you ought to ask them. A double power grab with a twist. Jim Crow 2.0, seizing federal elections, striking down the laws adopted by Democratic legislatures, putting an unelected radical leftist bureaucrat in charge of elections with more power, this one leftist bureaucrat, than all 29 million people in the state of Texas. Doing so by breaking the Senate rules to change the Senate rules, and the twist is with a dose of hypocrisy unusual even for this place. Look, if a senator serves long enough, there'll be times when they may vote a little bit this way or a little bit that way. There are lots of senators that have had tensions with prior positions. I cannot think of another time when a senator has voted for something that he has called doomsday for democracy. That's not just a little hypocritical. And by the way, all the Democrats agreed with him. They were all standing shoulder to shoulder. In 2005, when Senator Schumer said this, he was either lying or telling the truth. If he was lying, I guess you should ask him why he was lying. If he was telling the truth, I guess you should ask 48 Democrats who don't care why they're willing to vote for doomsday for democracy. You want to understand the dangers of this double power grab with a twist? Look no further than the vicious, partisan, divisive, hateful speech President Biden gave, insulting half this country, oddly enough, blaming Republicans for the sins of his own party, the Democratic Party, who wrote Jim Crow and founded the KKK. All of us were sitting outside in the Capitol when President Biden gave his inauguration speech, when he talked about unity, when he talked about healing. You want to see the vicious partisanship that ending the filibuster will produce? You saw it. A double power grab with a twist of hypocrisy. Madam President, if there is a Democrat in this chamber who gives a damn about democracy, let me urge you, don't vote for what your own leader has called doomsday for democracy.